What's going on? Good Tuesday morning, everyone out there. Thank you for joining the podcast that we like to call Wrestling with ADHD. Tonight is a special episode. Today, it's this morning, whatever we're on. This morning is a very special episode. Today is a very special episode as we're going to entitle this Shootin' with Shooter. This has been a concept that I've had for a long time. Right when I broke in the wrestling business, I always wanted to do something for, an article for a newspaper or a wrestling magazine or something, and just do it monthly or whatever, every publication that comes out, do a rant on just what I think about certain things. Now, tonight is going to be, or this morning, geez, it's still dark, that's why. This morning is going to be more of an answer on my side of this story, the true side of the story. I've always believed that there's three different opinions, or three different opinions, and the third one is usually the right one. It's this person's version, this person's version, and then the truth lies somewhere in the middle. That's what I was trying to say. Anyhow, let me explain a little bit about what's going on. Anybody that's new to the channel, anybody that is just viewing us, for a second or a third time, don't know exactly what this is all about. This is a channel called Headlocks and Hauntings, and what it is has to do with professional wrestling, typically alongside of ghost hunting, paranormal investigating, that type of thing. It's my fiance and myself both do it, and we're just trying to build it. This is so new. This is relatively, I haven't even done 2 weeks worth of these podcasts overall, because those, go back and check out one of the links in the description, and check out last night's podcast, because last night I was definitely wrestling with ADHD. It was a 60-minute Iron Man match last night, actually. But this is a web channel that we're doing here, trying to just bring professional wrestling to the channel. We bring hauntings to the channel, paranormal activity, like I said earlier, and also we're gonna sprinkle in a little bit of the comedy that the two of us have with each other, the comedic conversations, and also catching predators and pedophiles out there that don't belong on the streets. We also are going to be uploading that. So it's going to be a little bit of everything. I mean, maybe there's going to be some content that you want to see, but then you don't want to see the next content that we have, but somebody else that or your family or something, maybe they'll enjoy the content so they can listen to that. If you guys just enjoy listening to me in general, just listen and have fun. You might, you're always going to be surprised with the next thing that comes out of my mouth, most likely. Anybody that's known me for a long period of time knows that I do try to always bring comic relief to any situation, no matter what. It's just how I do it and what I've done for a long time. This show is actually, like I said, entitled Shootin' with Shooter. For those of you who don't know, I'm Shooter Storm, the all-nighter, the sexual intellectual, the G-spot guru, the Broadway of intimacy, the all-nighter, the largest man in professional wrestling, Triple S, Center Shooter Storm. Take that all. Before we get started, I want to say that this Thursday, I will be on a podcast. I am going to be on, I will give you guys the name in just a moment. Let me take a look. I have a few of these coming up, and I want to actually be able to say the right name so I can plug these guys too. I was on their show, on their podcast a year and a half, 2 years ago, maybe, something like that. And good group of guys, very professional. They follow everything I do, and I greatly appreciate that. So we're going to be going on that show, and it is entitled, hang tight real quick, it is Top Rope Wrestling Talk. So this coming Thursday, I believe it's 8 p.m. If it's not, check my social media for the actual time. So top rope or wrestling talk, and I will discuss everything, parts of my career, stuff that the guys haven't heard in a while, tell some stories, and just a bunch of whatever they ask me, I'm going to answer. I'm a straight shooter, no pun intended. Maybe there's a pun intended, but absolutely, that's going to be a cool show. So on tonight, this morning, Jesus, man, as soon as it gets light out, I'll feel a little bit better, but then I'll be able to say, oh, this morning, right? So, all right. Shootin' with Shooter is going to be tonight based upon someone who I didn't ever have a particular problem with. In fact, I actually went to bat for him a few times. And this is even after I was told repeatedly that this guy was no good. He was a scumbag. This, that, the other thing. Now, mind you, let me explain. Like, I understand. Hang on, guys. I got to drink some Diet Coca-Cola. Anyways, I gave him the benefit of the doubt. A lot of people told me he was a used car salesman type of guy. He was, he was a con artist, this, that, and the other thing. Now, mind you, I have been in the pro wrestling business for 19 years, very, very long time, and I absolutely know that the business is made up of all types of people, and a majority of them, especially ones back a little farther in the day than the beginning, were all shysters, of their own kind. Not just Irwin, but there was other shysters as well. Now, here's the thing. I also have had people's, a variance of people over the course of years that have, shit talked me and whatever. But then when I would confront them to their face, they would have no idea everything. They just automatically got amnesia and forgot everything they said. Excuse me. So anyways, but that's life. I used to wonder what people's opinions were on things. And then I got Facebook. There went that. But there's this one particular guy that doesn't have a great reputation with anyone. He's actually never been a professional wrestler. I don't know what he does. I've typed his name in online because him and I were going to do like a program together at Fight for the Mind. But I YouTube him and like there is nothing except promos in his kitchen or in his bathroom or somebody else's bathroom, somebody else's kitchen. I don't know. So, little bit lenient there because I'm not going to go work a program with a guy that hasn't had training and it hasn't done anything at all. Like, even if you come out of a wrestling school, yeah, I'll wrestle you because I know that you put in that time. All this guy has is a newspaper article from like 2005. It could be somewhere else in there, but I'm going to say 2005 that had him going to be on the show Tough Enough. Okay, that's really cool, bro. That's good for your resume. Put it on there. But when you have zero else on that resume, like absolutely nothing, you absolutely cannot think that's going to get you into a company. So here's where I'm trying to understand. Okay, so you try to get your name out on the indie scene. You're going to go work here and work here. According to your Facebook, motherfucker, you look like the busiest pro wrestler on planet Earth ever. You look so busy all the time, but you do absolutely none of it. It's like a fantasy Facebook wrestling league that you have on your page. Like, people laugh a lot at you. Like, I've been the butt of some jokes. Of course, I'm short, bald ginger. Come on, man. Let's be fair. But in the same realm of everything, I have also earned respect in a lot of different places in this wrestling business. You have nothing but a newspaper clipping stating that you were going to be on Tough Enough. Okay, for anybody at home that doesn't know, or at all, Tough Enough was a WWF WWE a show where it was reality television. It was reality TV about guys that went and lived in a house, guys and girls that went and lived in a house together, and they were trying to earn their way to a WWE contract, right? So take any reality TV show, insert wrestling and contract as the plot. There it is. That's basically what it is. Now it's cool. Like my good friend of mine from Florida, Michael Zaki, he was on the show. I miss punching him square in his penis. I miss it. Like Joey and I, the all nighters, used to take him and his partner all over the place. We used to have a lot of fun down in Florida with that tag team, and I just enjoyed punching Michael Zaki or headbutting him in the penis or whatever the frick happened that week. Yeah, some good times. But Michael Zaki was on Tough Enough, and him and this guy they called Skid Marks happened to be his the guy they had kind of a feud with, like in the house to build drama, for the show. And then so later on, I was able to book that match, first time ever, like on one of the best shows that I ran in Orlando. And so it was two Tough Enough guys. Now that's cool because people remember that happening. But the point, and those two were, actually, I don't think Skid Marks was, but I'm almost positive Michael Zaki was already a trained wrestler. That's the key to what I'm about to say. For those that don't know who I'm talking about, legend Tim Lacey, that's what I'm speaking of. Now, I want to get this out there before I go any further. This, by no stretch, is any type of promo or anything to build towards a match down the line. This has zero payoff to it in the wrestling business. Zero. I am telling you now. Tim Lacey does not have anything to do with me at all. At all. He has zero to do with myself. He has zero to do with Fight for the Mind. I will tell you that 100% straight up front. 0% to do with any of those things. He and I had talked months and months ago. Okay? Now, if you don't know, Katie and I, we own a professional wrestling school. It's called the Fight for the Mind Pro Wrestling Academy. It's, as of right now, it's in the St. Lawrence Center Mall, Messina. However, that mall is closed completely due to COVID right now until they get some kind of new energy system or whatever, some kind of filtering system in the mall itself. So, we can't even run class. And of course, there's no shows barely at all running any independent dates. So it's a tough time for anybody, and even for us wrestlers, you know what I mean? It sucks, and I want to be in there helping the students. I really want to graduate my first class. They have about a month left of training before I can officially graduate them. They've all done awesome, so props to you guys. And I have another class coming up as soon as all this goes away, and but we're most likely going to be taking we're going to be buying some new land, and we're going to buy a big building, a big metal building to put on to put on that land and have a training facility inside there and a place where we'd be able to run events and stuff like that as well. So that's going to be a cool deal. So as for that, months ago, this guy had started talking to me. It was I told him after the Fight for the Mind 5, I think it was the last one. And it was in it was in Messina. It was at the mall. It was smaller. They gave us a weird end of the mall to be able to do the show on because they had double booked something that night. So yeah, it looked cramped. It looked piled. It was good. Shane Douglas was there. It was a decent show. Well, that's the first place that I ever physically was introduced to Tim Lacey. Well, Tim had come up to me, and he had been pitching shit to me for weeks, excuse me, online. So I was a little bit I'm like, okay, this guy's either this is before I Googled him. He's either a big deal and wants to be a part of this and it's a cool thing, or this guy's never wrestled on a show a day in his life that didn't take place in a backyard because he doesn't know how this works. At the highest point of my wrestling career thus far, I was wrestling 3 days a week, sometimes four, depending what was going on. Whether it be Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or whatever. I was doing this thing, and I didn't know 90% of the time, except for the 2 or 3 companies that had storylines that I worked every single month. I didn't know ahead of time who my opponent was. I didn't know all this stuff. We didn't, it wasn't like I would just show up and they say, all right, Shooter, it's you and him. Or, all right, Shooter, it's you and him. Or, Shooter, it's you and her. Or it's you and him in a tag versus these guys. Whatever. Same match you had last night, do tonight. It's what it was. I never would get a hold of the promoter and be like, yo, man. I mean, I do know people like that. I mean, everybody from Florida that knows people that we know absolutely know who we're talking about there. But that's neither here nor there. So this guy was pounding it in like he was calling, like that's what she said. This dude was pounding it in completely like he was like, oh man, yeah, let's do this. So I Google him and I'm like, so I come up and I look and I still don't find a match. I see promotional stuff that he's doing, promoting himself for upcoming events that never took place in his kitchen or his bathroom or his friend's bathroom or his friend's kitchen. You know what I mean? So I was like, all right, this is it right here. So I spoke to a few of my friends and they're like, yeah, this guy's a shyster. He is. He's a rotundo if I ever saw one. And I said, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt because I figured this. It was Fight for the Mind's my show, and I usually don't put myself up super high on the card. I said, well, if worse comes to worse, and if this guy gets hit or gets shitty in the ring, like he's not good, and I can tell it was never a serious thing to him, I am able to grab a steel chair and swing it like a baseball bat right across his face. And what am I going to get fired? Like, I run the thing, so I'm not going to fire myself for doing something that I feel is right. So I was like, let's just give him the benefit of the doubt. Because again, I didn't know this guy. I didn't know. Some people didn't know anything about posting videos on YouTube. I'll be the first to admit, I have a lot of YouTube material from back, when I was in Florida and that area. Like, that is where I have a ton of footage. However, I can promise you back then, I had no idea what I was doing. I still have a hard time figuring out some of this stuff online. I never uploaded anything myself. It was always put on there by one of the fans, or whether it be another wrestler that he had his girlfriend or his wife or something tape. Then, that at that point you can, you see a lot of my stuff, but I never put anything up. So I can understand maybe he doesn't do that. But then I said, no, that's not true. Of course this guy knows how to do it. He cuts promos every single week in his house. So, and he uploads them fine. So we can listen to him talk about an imaginary show that he's going to be on and with an imaginary opponent. So, that's, I don't know. Okay, so I'm being pretty calm so far. So far I am. But I'm gonna get, I think progressively, I'm gonna get much angrier because it's just how I feel. Him and I continue to talk. He came into the Fight for the Mind event that took place in the mall, the final one that was there, and it was me and Shane Douglas. The crowd ended up kind of angry from what I hear from some of the other fans. Just actually, one other fan was the one that was telling me all about this, but he said that people were upset because Douglas and I's match only went as long as it did. Now, I'm going to tell everybody that was in attendance, anybody that even cares, the only reason that match was cut as low as it was, and I mean, I'm talking about like under a minute, right? Under a minute long match. And I wanted to wrestle Shane, and Shane wanted to wrestle me. We wanted to have a good match. Like, he was even saying, "Yeah, I could take anything, just no German suplexes." And I'm like, "Man, I didn't even plan to do a body slam much to you." You know what I mean? But hey, dude is ready to go out, and he was ready to work. He wanted to work for you fans in Northern New York. He absolutely wanted to work. And the mall, the janitor came up to me and was like, "Oh, hope you guys are wrapping up soon." I'm like, "I got 4 matches left." "What do you mean wrapping up soon? It's 9 o'clock." "Oh, you're supposed to be out by 9. What? The show started at 7:30. Like, what does that even mean? Like, no, it's a 3-hour show. It's been this way every single time I've ran any show in my entire life. It's going to be that, because the fans are going to get their money's worth." And he's like, "Oh, well, the owner said blah, blah, blah," or the manager said this. And I'm like, I don't think any of that happened. But you know what? This is where the school is. We're still going to give the crowd a hell of a show, but something's got to get cut. Well, I'm not going to cut somebody else. Somebody that's traveled as far as they did to come wrestle for me. They want to have time out there. They want to be able to show what they can do, and by all rights, they have that absolute right. However, in the same token, somebody's got to eat shit, right? Somebody has to eat shit. Someone has to take the bullet, and they have to literally say, "Okay, well, it's going to be me because I'm the promoter." It was the right. I didn't want to do it. I did not want to do it, but it was the absolute right thing to do, because these guys had traveled a long way, and a lot of them come in for nothing, because the event being, benefit. It's still tough. A lot of times we don't end up coming out on, on top. It all depends on, pre-sale, regular sale, what happened, what we had to spend money on for the show to take place, this, that, the other thing. With New York, it's with the insurance. I got to pay to work under a banner, this, that, the other thing. Well, that's all going to be handled very, very soon. Once COVID, once the pandemic has settled down a little bit, the global issue we have going on, we're going to go and get everything we got to get filled out and just run under our own banner, actual events. So there'll be able to be a lot more events. So we'll be able to make more money at this point. So we'll be able to get more to the charity that we're going to be doing it for. So, okay. Let me try to remember where I was at. See, I get going and then I sideswipe. That's why it's called Wrestling with ADHD. So, this Lacey guy, me and Douglas go in and we're ready to have our match. So we do our 70, not 70, like our 50-second match, right? Simple and easy, collar and elbow. He backed me into a corner. He swings. I duck. I come up, start throwing the punches in the corner. I go to whip him. He reverses me. I take the Bret Hart buckle, and then I back into him hard. He comes at me hard. Boom. We both bump down. Now, thank God that was the end that night. For those of you who don't know, I have been wrestling very minimal, but not because I don't want to be out there full time, as much as I can be for full time on the independent circuit or whatever, or going and doing stuff. If they need me as an extra again or whatever it is, like I have been very minimal with what I do, and because I've been wrestling with a torn pec, labrum, rotator, again, and bicep. All of that ripped in 2016 before the first Fight for the Mind event. It was down in Albany. It was at In Your Face Wrestling. It was a triple threat. Me, Jimmy Jack Cash, and another guy that I can never remember his name, but he's done well, and he's doing a hell of a job out there on the scene. I saw him maybe at Evolve or something, and he's good. Anyway, so we did the thing. I hit my finishing move and that finishing move finished me. So it blew the way the doctor said it. Basically, it piece of my bicep tore, came down here with a ball, and it acted as if it was like a ping ball game or whatever, and bing, and it shot up and it blew through my pec and it blew all the way through my shoulder. So I tore all of it. It felt like somebody cut my arm and poured gasoline in and then struck a match and threw it in. It was horrible, 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 horrible feeling. But I've never got it fixed. And I've had a broken neck, as most of you might know. This is in 2009. I came back from that. I had the surgery. I want to get the surgery on this one. But I can tell you this right now. New York is by far the worst one to get approved for with most all different insurances. And it's so hard to get the approval to go ahead and get an MRI done. X-ray, no problem. MRI, it's like pulling teeth. It's not okay. It sucks. But, we now have an even better insurance. So we're hoping at this point with that, we'll be able to get the approval quicker so they can just do the MRI on me. And they got to do it on Katie's back as well. Her lower back is shot. She's almost positive it was from when she was sleepwalking. She's like 2 years ago, she's sleepwalking and I'm just sleeping and not walking. And she walked outside, like to the staircase of the apartment we lived in, and she bumped all the way down like she was playing luge. It was insane. And I didn't see any of it. She didn't. She got back up and ran up the stairs and came in and woke me up and said she fell. So that was scary. I remember I was like, what? Like, why aren't you sleeping? What is happening? But I don't remember exactly where. Oh, yeah. So we're going to have it go that way. So it's like, also, once again, it's like pulling teeth. But this time it's like pulling teeth to run wrestling events in New York. So when anybody has ever said, like, that it's anyone can run a wrestling event, I heard that today, and I was surprised to hear, or yesterday, I was surprised to hear it because it was from somebody that I actually consider a pretty good friend. And I've always given this person, he's not a wrestler, so I always gave him something to do at the shows, because I've never had any reason not to. Like, he's cool. He's done work. He's done good by me when he comes and does it. He's been done good by me in life in general for years. So I don't know if he read my Facebook status wrong or he wasn't understanding what I was saying, but somewhere in there he said that it was who am I to say who can run in the area, which had zero to do with what my post was about. It actually was, I'll explain. But he wrote that, and then he wrote, anybody can run a wrestling event. They don't have to have your approval. Well, one of the other commenters said that that's a preposterous sentence, and it absolutely is, because not just anybody can run a wrestling event. Not just anybody can run a pro wrestling event, especially a pro wrestling event in New York. It's insane. But again, this had nothing at all to do with what my post was about. It had nothing to do with that. It had to do with this slimy, scummy, skanky Tim Lacey coming into this area, showing up to my show, throwing the worst wrestling punch I've ever seen. And if he throws a real punch like this, holy shit, that he's in trouble. Whoever is fighting against him wins already, just by how that was. Like, I had to later on say that it was sorry guys, I had to pick my nose. Literally had to say, okay, I thought I had a hunger hanging out. Oh, I had to say, to make him look better from what hitting me and to make me not look like such of a pussy that I actually got knocked out by that, I had to state that he had a roll of quarters in his hands when he hit me. That's the only way that would have been. Anybody watches video, it's not believable. Like, that was really, really bad. It wasn't like, you'd come in, boom, you got to still hit with a pretty good live shot, right? Wrestling punches aren't a complete work. A lot of times if you don't know how to work them, they're going to be good. And even sometimes if you do know how to work them, you're still going to get a good shot in. And I don't even understand. Like, I was selling up and he came up from behind me or around the side of me and went, that's what he did. And I sold it. And I laid there like I had just been shot in the face with a cannon. I didn't know what it looked like. I figured he could punch. I gave him the benefit of the doubt. Give me a punch. Wrestling punch, real punch. Just make it look real, for real. Like, even if it is real, just hit me. Give me a live shot. Like, are you kidding me? So, anyways, I didn't know. So I was like, all right, that's good. Whatever. Thanks, man. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, hugs, kisses, bye-bye. See everybody later. And I watched the video like a week or whatever later once somebody got done editing the stuff. I took a look and I was embarrassed. I was so pissed at myself that I bumped for the worst punch in general. And this is even worse than like my student Dante's punches. You know it, Dante. By far, he's really talented in the ring. They've all come a long way. The only thing is, I pray to God for the love of Jesus himself, I pray that Dante never gets in a real fight. Unless he gets in a real fight with Tim Lacey. And then I can assure you that Dante would win. So, yeah, that's the truth. I just, the more I'm thinking about, like, getting angry, like, in a way, I just laugh at this guy. Like, I just laugh. And I'm going to tell you why that I'm pissed and I laugh at him. I'm going to tell you why now the issue with this guy. So, the fight for the main event is over. It's the day after, which means I'm miserable as fuck. My body hurts from the one bump I took because I didn't get to that. I have all those tears, and when I bumped, my whole left arm just went numb. So, all right. This is going to be cleared up shortly, just so everyone knows, like, very, very soon. Quicker recovery time than I thought, because I will also be doing, physical therapy. So, day after, so I'm pissing vinegar, and I'm mad. I'm upset because, well, the show's over. I don't know if I like the show. I don't know how it came across. It's just you get all that anticipation. Now that I don't wrestle like, multiple times a week, like it's different. So like you get yourself amped up, and especially for the show that I do, because it's in memory of my mom, and it's something that I really like have a lot of pride in. So and they've all been reasonable successes. Whether we make money or we don't make money, I still always make sure that they get, they get their cut. And they're very happy with me, and I'm very happy with them. I wish I could do one show and literally give them 10 grand and be like, there you guys go, cure it, So anyways, the show's over. I'm pissy. It's the day after the whole deal. So I get a Facebook message, right? And it's Tim Lacey. Hey, bro, I'm so excited. That was really awesome last night. Boppity boo. The whole thanks, you're going to bring me back kind of deal. So, it's my first rodeo. Like, I haven't heard all of this umpteenth million times, right? And he's like, oh, man. And this was not true, because Shane Douglas was with me the entire night. Like, we just chilled the whole time. Like, he wanted me to go to Olympia Sports with him before anything, right? So, anyhow, long story short, I knew this was a line of bullshit. He said, oh, Shane Douglas came up to me and told me that he remembered me from another show, and I've just gotten even better than I already was. And like, dude, get the fuck out of here. Like, none of that ever happened at all. Where did he remember you from? Your 2005 tryout with Tough Enough that you never went to because you hurt your knee. So after hurting your knee, you've been rehabbing it for the last 15 years and cutting promos in the kitchen, in the bathroom, to show that you are mobile now and can make it from your kitchen to your bathroom and back, I would assume, without any help. So you're obviously now a trained professional wrestler, and now you're ready to go in there and you're ready to just hit the indie scene like just the same way Kurt Angle attacked WWE. Oh my God, the best. Yeah, man. About that. You are a shyster. You are an absolute shyster that decided, mind you, after you asked me, I have these Facebook conversations. You don't think I save shit? I have these conversations, and what do they say? Tim, you could probably tell them. You have all this proof of all this kind of stuff, this evidence, these things that you say that I did or did not do. Okay. Well, you were supposed to show that proof a long while ago. I don't have you on my Facebook, and that's where a lot of this, I believe, stems from. And it's okay, man. Like, listen, I get it. Like, dear Stan, I meant to give you an autograph sooner, you know? Is that your name, Tim? Is that your name? You're the legend, Stan? Man, dude, please, for the love of everyone, step back out of the room where the adults are. Look in, but take a fresh breath of outside. And hopefully it'll clear out whatever's going on in there, whatever kind of delusion you have of doing what myself and the rest of the people on this event that you somehow worked me into being on. And then you send me a Facebook message and you say, hey, I was hoping I could come to the school and start training, refreshing myself up, polishing up my wrestling. I haven't been in the ring since that summer in 2005. Oh. I didn't realize that that's what was happening. I didn't realize, according to you and according to your kitchen and your bathroom, I was under the assumption that you were a traveling professional wrestler. That since 05, you've been making that. You've made the comeback and you've been wrestling and you've been doing this and you've been doing that. And you really do have this promoter's license and you have this and you're going to run Fight for the Homeless and you're going to do this and you're going to do that, right? Bro. I don't know where you came from. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know why you decided you were going to do something like this at the age of what? I don't know what you are. It's probably around my age somewhere. And you were going to come and you were going to try to leech and off of my name in this area and try to buddy up to me as you sent that Facebook message that said, hey man, I'd really like to come train under you. I will pay the full price. I just will have to start paying you payments this week. Now, I said, yeah, man, no problem. That'd be great. listen, I'm going to cut you a deal. I'm going to give you X amount of dollars off because, you know, uh, it's the good brother discount, whatever. And he's like, oh, great, man. I'll have it in by, I can't guarantee you I know the exact day. It was either Tuesday or Wednesday. It'll be in the account. I'll make sure to send it over. I'll make sure to send it over. I'll make sure to send it over. Now, listen, coming from him, you have to understand, I am an OG. I am a worker. So I am an OG. The only difference between, well, there's a lot of differences, but the main difference between you and I, as I have grown up in my older age, I've grown up and I've made sure there's only one small debt that I owe anymore in my entire life. And it's not to you, Lee Clark. We'll get to you too. Fucking weird looking piece of shit. So, anyhow, how's my PlayStation 4, motherfucker? All my games in a gold paddle? Why? Because I wanted to buy a few gabapentin off of you? You know, that non-narcotic that I needed for nerve pain? I think it's pretty goddamn good considering I haven't taken a painkiller. I haven't taken any kind of downers. I haven't taken any kind of, well, what I'm saying with that is I haven't taken any, Xanax. I haven't taken any Klonopin. That's what I meant by downers. I don't know what all downers are, but I know I don't take anything other than what I am prescribed. Same goes for my fiance, Katie. And yeah, I wanted to go ahead and I needed something for my nerves. So I came to you and asked for some gabapentin. Yep. And you wanted money from me. I don't buy anything. I don't do any of that. She doesn't buy any of that. She doesn't do any of that. So that's what it is for you, Lee Clark. That's what you have, right? Because that $70 that you asked for and then took my PlayStation 4, all of its games, and a gold paddle, and didn't accept that and say, oh, now you want money too? Dude, I just needed something to take care of my nerve pain. It is a non-narcotic. It's like asking, honestly, it's like asking for a Tylenol 800 or whatever. One of those. But it's for nerves because I have terrible, horrible, awful nerve pain from doing what I've done for almost 2 decades. So you can keep your ass on the other side of the guardrail. Oh, or maybe not. Maybe you can show up and say you're going to ring announce, but then see that somebody's there that picked on you during softball, so you left and told me you had an emergency back home. You're full of shit, bro. And you didn't tell me, you told someone else so they could relay the message to me. So I had to find a new ring announcer with 20 minutes left to go. Huge shout out to Dante and to Garrison for being the backstage ring announcers for that night, on top of having their very first professional wrestling match. And that Shane Douglas said was very, very good. And he actually told them and me it was very, very good. Unlike you, who I'm back to now, Tim Lacey. He never said you were good. He never said he remembered you. He said, hey, Shane, nice to meet you. That was it. And he really didn't even mean it was nice to meet you. He was just saying that. Nobody likes you. And what I'm telling you now we're here. Now it's elevated a little bit. Now I can feel it. I feel why I'm fucking disgusted by you. Because you piece of shit, came to me and you asked after the training, and you picked if you could do training. I said, sure. And I gave you 4 extra weeks. 4 extra weeks to pay me a penny, and you did not pay me one fucking penny. So at that point, I totally even forgot the first part. That was part 2. Part 1 was right after the show, and this was a little ways after the show. That's how it happened. But either way, same story, just the order was a little off. The one time you get a hold of me and you say, "Oh, I want to buy your ring." I do. Dude, don't sell it to anyone else. I want to buy in to fight for the mind. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to do this. I'm like, I'm going to hear him out. If this is what he wants to do, I'm going to let him pay a certain amount in, and he doesn't, him and I will work on something together. Well, he'll do this. I'll do this. He'll do this. I'll do this. Katie told me, do not trust him. Every single person. Do not trust him. Everyone said it. And I still gave this motherfucker the benefit of the doubt. Still. And then I said, go ahead. Just send me, I don't know, $100 a week or something. I can't remember how the hell we said it. It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant because I still didn't see a fucking penny. He never once deposited anything. Then he was going around and he was telling other people that he had a lot of control at Fight for the Mind. Do ya? I'm pretty sure you don't have any control of anything. You don't even have control of your own life, bitch. You really don't have anything going for you. You don't have control of your own life. You sent me the email to send a request for the money that you were going to pay for this buying in, and to the school, right? You sent me an email. Now, this is no offense to anyone else, because nobody should get it. I will not, your family has nothing to do with this. Your girl has nothing to do with this. Anybody in your life has nothing to do with this. This is solely on you, and my apologies from the word go to your family and to your girl. And if there's any kids that live with you or anything, then my apologies to you for having this motherfucker as someone that you love. Now, nothing was sent. So finally, I was sick to death of listening to the bullshit, the excuses, the times you would send me Facebook messages and pretend it was your wife telling me that you were at work. $600 and some a week, you tell me. $600 some a week. Who gives a shit? Where is it for me? You make this money, where the fuck is it? Why don't I, if you're buying into something with me and you're also want to come train under me because you're getting polished up, you've never been trained. You're nothing. You have done absolutely nothing. And you have announced at least 3 shows up in this area only to cancel everyone. And you can't blame COVID because this was far before COVID was a thing. Now, if I get demonetized on this goddamn thing for using the pandemic's name, I fucking swear to God, man, like, I blame you. I blame you. And the reason I'm so fucking angry right now, the reason that I'm so fucking angry with you, it's very simple. It would have been fine if you would have just not paid and not there was nothing in my life that was going to be ruined if you didn't buy into the company or if you didn't come to train. I was giving you the benefit of the doubt. I was giving you the benefit of the doubt. And you did what you did, and that was you scumbagged me. Like I said earlier, I haven't been perfect my whole life. No, I was a worker, and I worked, and I knew how to work things and situations and manipulate and do this and do that. But God damn it, there is only one debt that I owe right now, and it's going to be paid off within the next couple weeks. Nothing. And again, like I said, it's not you, Lee Clark, you fucking scumbag, who decided you were going to go ahead and blame me for you and your lady breaking up because I didn't pay you money for gabapentin. All right? Good part is, I don't even need to do any of this anymore. I'm fine. I'm getting everything checked out. Katie's getting everything checked out. And we have been free. And we have been off any narcotics, anything that we were addicted to that would end up taking our life eventually. And we're off all of it. So I have no problem saying that. Yep, at one time, I asked him for some gabapentin. Nothing to be ashamed of. Her and I both now go through surgeries with 0 painkillers. Trust me, that takes a lot. And I'm fucking proud of myself, and I'm proud of her, and she's proud of me, and she should be goddamn proud of her. So now, Lee Clark, your name will never come out of my mouth again. The chapter of you shit-talking me is also going to stop right the fuck now. Because the next time I hear you're running your mouth, the next person that you're going to hear from is going to be my attorney. Because you are not worth my time of punching your face in. Okay? Capiche? Now, as for you, here's your last few minutes in the spotlight. Here's your last few minutes in the spotlight there, Legend Lacey. I'm making a warning to the wrestling fans of the North Country who pay their hard-earned dollar to come and support independent professional wrestling. From the bottom of our hearts, we thank you, and we want you to realize that if Tim Lacey, any kind of legend, legacy, if he says that he is running any events, or you see that there's a show and you find out that he is behind it, I want to warn you that the show will not take place. Absolutely will not take place. I have never called the State Athletic Commission on anyone. I didn't call it on you. You decided what you were going to do is blame that, so that way you could have another excuse for having no show, for canceling again. You don't want to play hardball with me, Tim. You don't want to play hardball with me. Because there have been times in my life that I've been dishonest in my life, in my younger days, like whether it be to my family or whatever. But I'm a good-hearted man. I will do anything for anyone when I can. Sometimes I can't, but when I can, I absolutely will. And I get that trait from my mom. I believe that wholeheartedly. Now, I was one of the first ones to get a hold of you when you let me know that your mother died. I was one of the first ones to get a hold of you if you needed somebody to talk to. But because I went and I deleted you, blocked you on Facebook, now you thought it was time for shit talk-mania? It's not how this goes, bro. That's not how this works, because everything gets back to me. Everything gets back to me, Tim. And why would you want to make enemies with the guy, the only guy that gave you the benefit of the doubt, and the only guy that runs events in this area? Why would you try to piss in my Cheerios? It's not going to help you. My fan base, our fan base, Fight for the Mind's fan base isn't going to jump over and go watch something that you aren't going to do. They're not going to do anything that favors you, because just as sure as I've been loyal to them, they have been loyal to me. Now, I want to let everyone know this only has to do with you, Lacey. Only you. It's because you're such a fucking clown. And anybody knows me knows I don't like clowns. But you, clown, were given the benefit of the doubt by me just to go ahead and start shit-talking me. And before we end the chapter of Tim Lacey, the 2-page chapter, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to debunk anything that you have said. Everything gets back to me. Screenshots, video shots of watching. I just literally didn't even watch. I told the people that sent it I don't care to see it, and I didn't even watch it. But then they gave me cliffhanger notes letting me know what you said. Right? You are a cliffhanger. You're like the cliffhanger hanging off the ass of life. You are. You're that one little dingleberry that just doesn't want to go away. You can only play wrestler for so long. You can only play promo guy in your bathroom and in your kitchen for so long. The two things that stood out to me immensely, Tim, were one, where you say that I don't pay my talent. Guess what? You're right. I pay talent that I speak to ahead of time and that needs something for the trip. I do what I can. But the show being benefit every time, and I end up losing money out of my own pocket, that's not good. That's not good business at all. But it's the memory of my mom, and it's whatever charity we decide to do it for. So if I have to pull it out of my own pocket, I'll pull it out of my own pocket. And I've done it. I don't pay my talent. And I quote, yeah, I know at least 2 people that have told me this and are pissed about it. 2 people. And the 2 names you dropped were World of Hurt's owner, promoter, longtime friend of mine. In fact, he's the guy that rode with me. We rode together last year to the 3 WWE dates: Connecticut, Albany, Providence, Rhode Island. We took that whole loop together. In fact, I spent the night at his house. 2 of the nights, and 2 of the nights I stayed with Justin Rando. Shout out to you, Justin Rando. You know, there's number one. And the second one is one of my guys that I've booked since the first, and I'll book until the last one. And that's Fox Vineyard. So what did I do? I went right to these 2 guys myself. Why wouldn't I? I have nothing to hide. So I have conversations. In fact, let me pull out one real quick here. Let me just pull out one, okay? We'll pull out Shane's conversation. Let's see, Shane Alden. I wrote him on Messenger real quick, and then I redeleted Messenger because we didn't have each other's number at this point. I basically said to him, hey man, I need to talk to you, get a hold of me as soon as possible. I give him my number, he drops his number and puts Shane A. I said, hey man, okay, so this Tim Lacey scumbag, I caught word he did a Facebook Live thing trashing me, which takes some balls, considering how much money he owed me, and tried to flip the switch, thinking it wouldn't blow up in his face. Reason I wanted to talk to you is because he's in the video and through messages with other people, dropped your name and said the same thing about me, that I owe you money, etc., etc. He said Fox as well, who I contacted, and he assured me that he never said nothing. In fact, he never even talked to him. I feel you didn't say anything either, but I wanted to ask man to man. As you can see, this is him right here. I don't want to give his number. Okay, so he then writes, yeah, that's not true. I've never met him, but I've heard awful things about him. He doesn't seem to have much credibility since everything he has planned has not happened ever before, even before the pandemic. But yeah, I never even met him and definitely did not say that. As a matter of fact, you paid me gas and toll for the one trip we took together after the fact, even after I told you you didn't have to. If there was any truth to what he said, he would have screenshot it. So I then replied, he goes, can you send me the video that he said my name? Because I would like to call him out. I said, absolutely, man. Let me get the video or a link and I'll send it to you. For sure. I knew you didn't say any of this, but I wanted to let you know your name was dropped when you said none of this. He said, thanks, bud. I appreciate it. I haven't met this guy, but I've heard nothing but sketchy things so far. I said, he's a fucking joke, man. Also claiming I'm on pills. Yeah, clean for 3 years. He goes, wow, what a bunch of crap. So that was basically the end of that conversation with Shane. So debunked that situation, debunked that rumor. And then let's go down here. I want to see if I don't know if me and I can't remember where the conversation is with Fox, but Fox will also vouch for you. And if you look on my page during on my birthday, go down my timeline and look where Fox happy birthdays me and says you owe me money. Shit legit popped me because obviously he heard, because I told him what was said about him as well, same answer. So it shows the type of person that Tim Lacey is. So that's the one thing that bothered me was I don't pay people and that I owe people the money. Like I said, my past, I absolutely did. I'm a man and I'll say it, but I always made sure to make a promise that those people would always be paid back, and I paid back every single person. Every single one. I only have one debt left out, and it's going to be paid so soon. And I feel great about it because I don't lie. I tell the truth. And I've become a better man in my older age when I really wasn't even that bad of a person. In my young age, I was stupid. And I was a worker. So I thought I was cool. But now I know. So Lacey, I want you to think long and hard before you think it's a good idea to play hardball with me. You're saying I saw a video of you standing in either your kitchen or your bathroom, of course, and you looked so drunk, so drunk, talking about how you wanted to fight me. Well, listen, man, I don't know if you're trying to build some kind of a storyline or what you're trying to prove here, but motherfucker, you're not going to make a name off of me. So take my name out of your mouth, because we're not ever going to do business. We're never going to work together. And in fact, after this right here, which I'm sure you'll drop in and watch, this will be the last time that I mention your name. So to end this, good luck in all your future endeavors. Till next time, guys. Thanks for coming. Make sure to subscribe, like, share. Positive comments only down below. And please, let's help boom this channel. You guys will be the original gangsters of this channel, the OGs of headlocks and hauntings. This has been Wrestling with ADHD, and this has been your special episode, Shootin' with Shooter. Till next time, everybody, make sure follow your dreams.